The purpose of this screencast is to show you how to use Symbaloo, which is a bookmarking tool that allows you to organize websites, links to websites as tiles, and it allows you to share them, and it's all stored online, so with a login you can access it at any time. So it's kind of killing two birds with one stone with this. I want to show you how a screencast works and what it looks like, but I also want to show you what you're going to do with that list of educational websites that you brought to class tonight, and you're going to use Symbaloo to organize them. So across the top of the screen you can see that I have educational websites open. So this is my Google Doc that I created, and I have about 15 or 16 different educational websites just listed by URL. And then I have Symbaloo open. I also have Weebly open, and we're going to get to that because you're going to eventually embed your Symbaloo that you create into your Weebly website. So starting at Symbaloo, it's just symbaloo.com. When you get there, you can see that this is what a Symbaloo looks like. It's just an assortment of tiles, and all of these tiles are links to these sites, and this is sort of a generic home page. So you'll probably create free account unless you already have one. I already have a login, so I'm just going to click login, and I'm going to use my Google sign-in. And now this is what my account looks like. So these tabs across the top tell you which screens you're going to look at. This is the home screen. This is the online screen. These are all different websites that take you to online websites that perhaps you use. This is just some different resources, and this is really helpful if you're looking perhaps for some information about planning a trip. You can click travel and it takes you to some different resources. US News is really interesting because if you're interested in really current breaking news, you can get the feeds from all of these different websites. And these are all just defaulted as part of your Symbaloo when you log in. Features, again, is just some additional ones. What you're going to do is create this plus sign to create your own Symbaloo. So you're going to add an empty web mix. When the web mix, when I say that, I'm just talking about that compilation of all the tiles. You can also search for web mixes that have been created by other people. Other teachers have created them. So certainly you could look up, teacher websites or educational lesson plans and see what other people have created. But for tonight, what I want you to do is add an empty one, and we're going to call it educational websites. We're not going to worry about RSS feeds tonight. That's something we can talk about later. So we'll add this. And now it's just a blank compilation of tiles. So what you need to do is add the different tiles. So I'll click on Add New Tile. And this menu comes up on the left. I want to create a tile. And now I'm going to just go into my Google Doc again. I'm going to grab this first URL, and if you're a Mac user, you can do Command-C to copy it once it's highlighted. And you can do Command-V to paste it, or you can just type it in, that's fine. This is a website, so I'm going to leave that checked. I like to have my tiles named, and I do want to show the name of them. If you don't show the text, you can see at the top here. Right now it's showing the text. If you don't have that highlighted, this is what it will look like. Now that's the icon for Learn Zillion, and you might know that, so maybe you don't want to name your tile, but I do want to show the text. You can also do things like change the background color. I think that looks good, and I'm going to leave it as that Learn Zillion icon, but certainly I could choose another icon, or I could upload an image, and I'll click Save. So my first tile is created. If I wanted to check to make sure it worked, I would just click on it, and it does work. Learn Zillion opens in a new window. So I'm going to create another tile, add a new tile. You can arrange it however you want. I'm going to add it right beneath here. Add new tile, create a tile. Again, now I'm going to go back to my Google Doc. I'm going to take this URL, Command-C. I'm going to use Command-V to paste it, or again, like I said, you can just type it in. This one is going to be called Prodigy Math Game. And again, I like to show the text. That icon looks good to me. That's a little character from the website, so I think that would help me remember that that's what the link is to. So I'm going to save that. So say you put in all 10 or 15 of the websites that you have listed on your Google Doc, and you want to add a few more because you kind of like the way that this is shaping up. The other thing you can do is just search a tile. So I'm going to search for a tile. Blend space is a website that I like. If you remember, I made that CMR blend space for you for that first night of class. They have a blend space tile. Perfect. And it works, and it actually drops me into my login page at blend space. So you'll fill in these tiles with the links to the websites that you would like to add. I'll show you a little bit of the options on this page. This is just another way to look at the menu. Home, online, resources, US news, features. We're looking at educational websites, which is the one that we just created. And again, these also just appear across the top. This is just another way to view it. If you want to change the background of your web mix, perhaps you don't really care for those trees, you can change the wallpaper. You'll notice it's automatically changing right now, but if you want to set it to be something plain, it could just be a plain blue background. If you wanted to choose the beach, you could choose the beach as your background. It's really up to you. You can also upload the image of your own choosing. It's really up to you how you want your web mix to look. If you want to rename it, you realize perhaps, you know what, maybe these aren't all educational websites. I'd like to be more specific. Maybe they're all for lesson planning. You could rename it right here. There's some other options down here, but again, these are just more related to the way the website appears. So it's up to you how you want to change it. If you want to remove it, certainly that's the trash can for deleting or removing particular tiles. But the last thing I want to show you is share. So let's say you have this entirely filled in with all the tiles that you want. You'll then go to the share button, and there's a couple different ways to share it. You can share it publicly, which means other people can view it via Symbaloo, or you can share it privately. What we're going to do is leave it for public sharing. So again, my name is just educational websites typed in there. If you wanted to put in a description here, you could. I'm just going to say a compilation of websites for teachers. You can tag it with different words if you want. This will tell you how discoverable it is. It's up to you whether or not you want to make it really perfectly searchable. I don't think that's very important to me, so I'm not going to worry about it. And right here you can select publicly, available in the gallery, or privately, and you can just share it with your friends via an email or a link. But I'm going to do it publicly, and I want you to do the same thing because we're going to put it on your Weebly site. So you'll click publicly, you'll click share my web mix, and when you do that, this right side of the screen lights up and you can work from here. So now you have a link that you can cut and paste, but the easier way to do it is actually to embed the code. So you're going to click embedded code, and it's going to give you, this is just the HTML code for the link to your website. And what you can do is highlight it. And again, I'm on a Mac, so I'm going to Command C, which is just copy it. Close this. Now I'm going to go into my Weebly. Now that I'm in my Weebly site, I'm going to probably call this a tech resource. Certainly you could call it a cloud tool as well, but I think for tonight I'm going to put it on my tech resources page. So I have that embedded code, and what I'm going to do over here is grab the embed code button and drop it right here. And now I'm just going to click in here to set the custom HTML. So remember what I did was I just copied it. So now I'm just going to Command V and paste that code right into the box. And now it looks a little bit short right here. And I was initially concerned that it didn't work. But then when I went back and I looked on my home page, and then I went back to Tech Resources, I saw, in fact, that it does show all of my Symbaloo here. It just didn't show it all when it was initially loading it. So it is there, and that is the place where I want you to put it. But if you do want to put it, like I said, at Cloud Tools, that would be fine with me. But it really is a good tech resource to have, and it kind of shows some organization. So back to Symbaloo, and really, I just want you to understand that Symbaloo is a visual bookmarking tool, and it really makes it fun and almost simple to just organize what you think are kind of the best resources of the web. So tonight you're going to create your own Symbaloo, fill your own tiles in with all of the websites that you gathered on your Google Doc, and then I want you to embed it into your website. If you have questions, you can certainly ask me, or you can ask the people around you.